Okay, I've got a quick secret. You may not like it, but I think you need to hear it. The fact is that you're not as good closing sellers into contracts as you think that you may be. Now, I want to give you a gift. It's a behind the scenes recording of me actually coaching one of my acquisition managers, and he's been able to break records in our operation. So I'm sure you're going to be able to get some golden nuggets out of this. And if you're interested in more of the content that helps you get consistent real estate deal flow directly from off-market sellers and 100% inbound, check out some of the resources below. Let me know in the comments what you think and what other topics or questions we should cover in future videos. God bless.
I'm going to be doing the auditing myself at the beginning. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up where you guys audit each other. Why? Because as human beings, we learn more by teaching than by listening. We just do. And so when you hear somebody just preach at you and just tell you this is wrong, it could kind of, go in one ear out and it doesn't really have that effect. When you are the one that is being critiqued, you might get defensive, just human nature. At the same time, if you are doing the critiquing and you're reviewing it, that gets more internalized and you're looking at it from more of a neutral standpoint, not because you're trying to pick at somebody or whatever, or not getting as, it's just like, it is what it is. It's numbers. Like 2 + 2 is 4. It's not 5. It's not 4.5. It's not 3. 2 + 2 is 4, right? Can be half pregnant. Numbers are numbers. With that said, I wanted to mention that to highlight it because I'm sure you guys have dreams. I've got dreams. I was talking a little bit today around, some of the other sales environments that he's been in. If you guys have goals, right? If we all have goals as a team and then we have our individual goals, it all starts with getting good contracts and making the most out of each contract. There's always something to improve. That includes me, how I help you guys, the tools that we use, the marketing, right? The systems, make it more efficient. Who we hire, right? That's important. Not everybody makes the cut. We've seen people come in and go out. So the idea is that we're developing the right seats, the right people in the right seats. With that said, I'll just go over these real quick to kind of introduce you guys, and I'll run an example. Sal's friends there again. So what you'll notice is you got the acquisition seller notes. You guys remember that I mentioned yesterday, like, hey, we all learn, we all execute a little bit different. That's fine. But the Bentley script is the script. And I am the company's baby. It's our baby. It's been tested. It's been proven to work. And so I haven't seen anything else work better in reality. A lot of people preach, a lot of people coach, a lot of people teach, a lot of people may think that they know better. But at the end of the day, we know that this flow works. So guess what the audit questions are? Anybody want to guess?
What did we ask those questions?
Do we follow the process?
Exactly.
Exactly, right? Inspect what you expect. For example, this lady, Inetta, and I'll just kind of brief you guys through the call. So the first question is, did closer set the agenda and outcome for the call? This is important. This is my entire job here is to work with you, not against you, to help you get the house qualified for a cash out sale. Why you want to do that? Because you want to set the tone from the start. Where are we at? Who am I? What is my job here? I'm not here to lowball you. I work with you, not against you. Want to try and win him over. Did the closer ask with open-ended questions, what's got the seller looking into possibly selling the home? There's a very specific question in the script. What's got you looking into possibly selling the home? That's very different than why are you selling the home? Very different. Did the closer ask or receive the answer to what is your ideal timeline to sell by? Sometimes they'll just give it up. Sometimes you just got to ask it, but you got to ask it. These questions are designed so they talk, not you talk more than them. You get them talking, because whatever you tell them as a salesperson, they're going to believe it's a lie. They're not going to believe it. If you tell it to them, it's a lie. If they say it themselves, it's probably more true. Did the closer inquire, what can you tell me about the neighbor of the home? Why not ask about the house? And because we want to get them to start talking. It's a non-invasive question. We want them to start opening their mouths, yapping away. This is a good way to get them to actually say, oh, the neighborhood's great. The neighbor, the dog, the park, the block. You want to get them talking versus everybody else is saying, hey, what's the age of the roof? What's the age of the windows? Well, how's the foundation? We want to say that, and we want to say that here before we get to the ugly stuff. Why? Because we want them to open up. Did the closer ask the question? If you had 30K to 50K to update or repair the home, to bring it to HGTV showroom condition, what would you spend it on? It's a very open, very non-invasive way to ask them, what do they think the house needs work on? And you just take notes. You don't have to do a bullet list item or how about this? How about that? How about this? You don't have to sound robotic. You can let them open up, take notes, and just ask what is needed. Did the closer realign my entire job here and place on a hold? That's that first hold. What's realigning is now at this stage, we've talked for a bit. We're in conversation. I'm going to reel you back in and say, hey, listen, I need to get with my underwriter to see if this is something worth pursuing further. Is it okay if I place you on a brief hold? Again, my entire job here is blah, blah, blah. Did closer ask for a second asking price after discussing condition? Did closer follow the laydown or the non-laydown offer protocols? So the max score is going to be an 8. That's going to be the max score. Got a 7 here. I'm going to break down why a 7 versus an 8. Why did get a 7 versus an 8? And again, this is not meant to put down anybody. This is meant to improve for the next call. So this was a non-lay down deal. So this lady's shopping around people, and some of them may be wackos, but just because you believe they're wacko doesn't mean that they're a complete wacko at the moment. And just because at the moment you believe it is a wacko doesn't mean that you need to rush off getting off the phone, because your job as a closer is to be on that phone. You're not opening title. You're not dealing with contractors. You're not dealing with any of the madness is dealing with, right? I'm just putting that out there as a reminder.
Stop the video real quick. Stop the video. Yeah, this is a back scratcher. I love back scratchers. But what I wanted to tell you about was Wi-Fi Flips University. If you're enjoying this content of this video, I want to help you get your next deal or your first deal with our help. Now, how would you like to get your first or next deal with an active community of real estate investors, step-by-step content, guaranteed inbound leads, and a system, right? An actual system that solves the roller coaster of real estate investing. Now, we all know and we hear the typical complaints from real estate investors. I don't have the right leads. I don't have enough leads. I don't know how to talk to them. I don't know how to convert them. I don't know how to analyze them, blah, 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 blah. Well, we fixed that very affordably at the Wi-Fi Flips University. So I invite you to just go to wififlips.com/university, and you'll see a page there in which you'll be able to see what we have to offer. And I think you're gonna like it a lot. So enjoy the content. God bless.
For example, the contract that Saul just got, I saw it was a 50-something minute long conversation, quality conversation. This was a very good one, but the only feedback I got here is till the end. And not saying that you did that, but just kind of reiterating the point here. As you're talking with these sellers, you got to reach the point. It's, you're at a crossroads here. It's either a lay down or a non-lay down. This is a non-lay down. She gave you an asking price. She said 150, way too high with the amount of repairs. Now you know that it's a non-lay down. What you should be doing when you go to that second hold, you need to be getting prepared for the no. You know she's going to say no. It should not be a surprise. You shouldn't be emotionally attached to the fact that she's wrong and you're right. The point of the second hold is to give you the time and space to prepare a low anchor offer and prepare for the objection management. Let's role play. You'll be the seller. I'll be you. Hey, Miss Seller, I've got some great news. The offer came up a little bit higher than I thought in this market. I will preface that if this doesn't work for you, please let me know so I can have them release the funds for other purchases. Is that fair enough? And then she says,
Sure, that's fair enough.
okay, now I want to review with you all the factors. You did that just fine. All these, you did that just fine. You missed this. Now, Mrs. Seller, would you rather close Friday or Monday? You missed that one. Why is that question? And, studying all the acquisition stuff, right? Every question here has a purpose. Every single one of them. The reason for that question is to get them excited. Would you rather do Monday or Friday? This is higher than I thought. They're getting excited. This is different than other people. She's shopping around. All right, so Miss Seller, you gotta say it, Miss Seller, the underwriter approved $103,500. She was asking 150, and then she said,
No, that's way too low. I was looking at 150.
You were looking at 150. Gotcha. Okay. While you were in hold, you were supposed to be getting ready for the no. You were supposed to be either finding low comps, and if there's no low comps, you can just jump into the retail versus cash offer. Where there are low comps, you got to be ready. You got to get ready on that second hold. That second hold is not to be wasted on just coming up with your number. I'm going to repeat that again. The second hold is not to be wasted just for you to come up with the offer number. The second hold is for you to come up with your low number because you know it's not a laydown, and to get ready with low comps if they're available, and with the retail versus cash offer sheet as available. Why? Because you're just going to have to overcome objection. So if there's low comps, is it okay if I share with you, Mrs. Seller, some market data so you can make an informed decision? Are you familiar with so and so and so? That did not happen in that call. So no real comps here. You would have needed to pull up. So no low comps. Okay, so let's talk about no low comps, right? There's really no low comps around here. You've got 261 here as the guess. I call it the guesstimate. Then you've got the tax appraisal value at 203. So you would have needed to pull up the average of the public values in this one and kind of take a guess, honestly, because there's no comps. We've talked about that before. Quick tip, which you guys need to write this down, both of you, Saul and Freddie, write this down. Any bad thing that you hear, you should use that as a hesitation point. Windows have never been updated. I'm not sure. Let me put that in the system. I see there's a correction deed. Can you tell me a little bit about that? I'm not sure if we're taking those. Let me put that in the system. You don't want to overuse it, because then, you're going to completely dismotivate them working with you, but you want to be authentic, right? Like, I'm not sure if we're approving those right now, but I'll see what I can do for you. With that said, it should not be a surprise that she said no to your offer. If we listen to the call, the would you rather do Friday or Monday was not talked about. Then we got defensive. Then we said, there's no low comps. There was no discussion on repairs. We're going to talk about that here. Then we argued about the value. She was asking, oh, what are you, I think you were at 103, and you're like, and she's like, whoa, that's way below 150. And you're like, yeah, well, it needs a lot of work and we have to absorb that risk. And then she's like, then she starts asking you questions. Who's driving now? Who's driving the conversation now? Guys, whenever you're not asking questions and you're talking, it's a red flag for you guys as closers. He who asks the questions controls the conversation. You can put that on a big sticker in front of your computer. Then she starts asking you, what value are you coming up with? Oh, I think 230 or something like that. And then we were going back and forth on the value. And my notes here are disclosing, meaning that section. Everything went well up until that point. This closing was poorly managed. It was all gravy up until the closing. Closer should have had low comps available and or retail versus cash offer ready for conversations and not get passionate about how wrong the seller is for her thoughts or wanting a high offer. I understand, guys, that not every seller is going to close. I get it. Not everybody's going to be our seller. That's not the point here. The point here is that we have a process, and it should not shock us that this lady said no, because now we got to go into managing, right? Managing the rebuttal. So you be the seller. I say, okay, you said no, right?
Yeah.
Right. It tells you the flow of managing that rebuttal. Hey, Ms. Seller, as we discussed briefly, it's my understanding you're selling the home because you want, I don't know, whatever her pain point was, it needs too much work or whatever, so that you can move closer to families. That a first statement?
Yeah, that's right.
You see how I'm now transitioning away from the price, moving away from the price. I'm trying to bring the pain back. No pain. Let me hear it.
No pain, no sale.
No
sale.
pain, no sale. No pain, no sale. I'm bringing the pain back.
Mhm.
Got it. Well, before you waste more time or money, my goal is that you can make an informed decision. Is it okay with you if we determine together what would be your most realistic net amount if you were to list the home on the retail market for the most money, and how that may compare to a cash out sale? This is way different than saying, well, it just needs a whole lot of work. Then she's probably going to say, sure, maybe, depends. I don't know. Depends on the person and how their attitude is, but you're doing your best. Perfect. As we discussed, the home may need some updates and repairs that could approximately total up to, and you give her the calculated number. This is your chance to start getting alignment. Guys, the retail versus cash offer is a tool, not only for us to calculate our offers, but to try and get alignment and see where we're misaligned. Some sellers are misaligned on value. Some of them are misaligned on repairs. Sometimes it benefits us. You have to go through the conversation. I just say, it needs to work. That's the offer. After reviewing some of the market data together, what would you believe the home to be worth on the market based on the sold comparables in the retail market at showroom condition? In this case, which you kind of did on the call, you brought the tax appraisal value, which is good. And I would stick to my guns to whatever available data that I have that's true, that benefits me. If there's a low comp, I'm going to stick to that low comp. And they're going to say, oh, but that house is a tear down. The house is bad. Listen, I hear you. I agree with you. It's just still a sale that happened. So it's going to affect our value. Oh, the tax appraisal is low. I hear you. It's just really the only value that we have to go for. Because then if she's savvy, she may go for, oh, but I saw that this house sold for $769 and blah, blah, blah. And then you can say, yeah, but I mean, is yours a mixed property? Does it have the land that it has? I mean, it's oranges and apples. Like it's just not the same. Again, guys, it's not about unrealistic expectations around closing every single lead. I understand the job. I've done the job for years. I'm trying to fast track it for you guys, and I'm trying to save you the emotional pain of, oh, she said no. No, you knew she was going to say no. If you're clear on the script, you knew she was going to say no. You would have had your low comps or if there's no low comps, your retail versus cash offer. And then you go, okay, based on this, you work them, you tire them out. That's the job. You got to wear them out. With that said, this is how I'm going to start helping, right? Auditing our process here to kind of give you guys feedback on the rejected offers. My intention is that we all get aligned on what works. And if something does not work, I want to know about it, right? Because if we're doing all kind of the same process, we can improve it.
I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes coaching call into converting more sellers into contracts. Let me know in the comments if you are implementing this in your business. Make sure you subscribe and like so that we can keep pushing out content. Now, if you love this video, you're definitely gonna want to go to my blog, wififlips.com/blog, in which we link resources, assets, downloadables for your use. God bless.